Hello everyone, my name is Griff, and today we are going to be going over part of the news information that has dropped overnight. We're not going to touch the Gala Dragalia preview yet, because I usually like to wait a day. People have told me that I should probably wait a day before going on a Suji summon. And this is a Gala banner, so there's a lot of things I can't tell here, but we do have a preview for it with Mascula and Cerise, so that's pretty cool. Cerise has a Manicaster, they're both water. But today we're actually going to be talking about the new Mana Spiral schedule and Summer Verica's new 70 MC. This is going to be a quicker video. I just quickly wanted to touch in and talk about a few things that excited me from this. So going into the more bigger one, I want to say, they have completely laid out the Trials of the Mighties for June. And there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 of them. Which is pretty cool that they're doing 5 a month instead of what I believe they were doing, which is 4 and 1 rerun. Now they're doing 5 a month, and I believe there's at least 2 reruns here. Yeah, there's 2 reruns here. But more interestingly, what they've done is that they've kind of listened to people. And we're going to see a little bit here. In Trials of Mighty, you'll challenge various teams of bosses with 1 or more predetermined elements and weapon types. Clear these elements to earn a reward, like unlocking materials for certain Mana Spirals called Convictions and Devotions that are unique to each adventure from the daily bonus. So, if you're looking right here at the first one, it says Shadow Legion's Trial. And this appears to be a endgame version of an IO fight, which I think is pretty cool that they're doing that. And the element and weapons are Light Bow and Wand and Staff. Now, if I'm being honest with you and I go and look at my Light Bow and Wand staffs, and we can actually sort them right here by this. Okay, let's go Light, let's go Bow, and let's go Wand and Staff. There are quite a few adventures here, which is pretty good. And I think that they did a great selection of having that one just be 2, because if we go down and look at more, for example, this next one, this Agni Trial, that is for Galaxi's Mana Spiral, which has not been announced yet, you'll notice that there's 3 here. Now, one of them is Manicasters, and it is Water Manicasters, so if you don't have a Water Manicaster, that's going to be a problem. But there is Lance, Bow, Manicaster, and Staff. So they are listening to people, and they are increasing the amount of weapons that you're able to use in each of these, which I think is awesome, because as someone who only had Lances for Kamuyu's Trial, for them to add bows to that, which I have a bunch of wind bows, for example, that's pretty awesome. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. We have Agni's Trial that is going to be for Galaxi's Mana Spiral, so like Galaxy will be getting a Mana Spiral. Pretty fitting with Galamascula coming out now. And also fitting with Galamascula, we have Jean the Arch Trial, which is going to be for Shadow, Blades, Bows, Manicasters, and Staffs. Now this for me is only going to be Blades and Bows, but I also have a lot of Shadow, Blades, and Bows. So I don't exactly mind them including Manicasters here, or limiting themselves, because I feel like there isn't enough in the other 2 pools to help me. And this is for Gala Lucas Mana Spiral. And it's pretty cool because, you know, you have a Shadow Staff here that is going to be getting a Mana Spiral this week. And then coming up, we're going to have a trial that uses Shadow Staffs. So you could actually use Summer Verica in the clears for Jean the Arc. Then we have Kamuyu's Trial, which we already went over. And then we have Thor's Trial. Now, Thor's Trial is still only swords and wands and the Shadow element, but again, there are a lot in that element, so it's okay, I feel, because they do have a lot increased. And this will be the 3rd time that you can get Gala Prince's Mana Spiral, which should be enough to allow you to fully 70 MC him. So it did take a while from release, and I wish that they wouldn't do it this way. I had an idea of a way that they could do it that I will talk about in a second, but it's good that we're finally able to get the final versions of these 70 MCs, and it's good that they're finally letting people finish themselves. Currently, right now, if we go and look at the current Trials of the Mighties, currently, I said currently like 6 times, there's 2 of them. And the thing for this is that you can pick which one you want to do, which I think is fine, but I think that it should be done in a better manner where more are available at once. If I was doing the system, if I was the one deciding how the system is run, I would have all of them available at once, with no limit on time, but only having 1 daily bonus. And then the players would get to choose which ones they wanted to 70 MC when. You know, if you really wanted Gala Prince, you'd go for Gala Prince first. If you really wanted Gala Ronzo, you'd go for Gala Ronzo first. And, you know, there would be an ebb and flow of content coming out where, you know, you'd never be able to get everything, at least currently. So I think that'd be a better system, but I do like the changes that they're making to the current system and kind of expanding it and making it easier. Additionally, if we go to limited time endeavors and we go down here to the Trials of the Mighty, they have increased the total for the 30 Trials and Mighty runs from 120 war might to 105. Sorry, 1,200 war might to 1,500 war might. So 300 extra war might. That's over 2 summons, so that's pretty good. And it was an old tenfold, so now it's a tenfold and a fourth. So, you know, more increases in war mights are always good. And also, if you already have those little emblems, those turn into war might too. So I'll get another 300, I believe, war might from just those 2 emblems when I do the Master Trials, which I'll probably do today. But yeah, I do like the systems that they're making. I like that they're laying them out. I like that people can see and pick and choose. Like, if they're like, I don't want Nurse Eileen, I'm just going to go straight for Prince, you know, that's something you can choose to do. It's probably something I might choose to do because I don't really have a lot of interest in Nurse Eileen. But, you know, it is an option available to you. And now, let's talk about the Mana Sparrow. Now, I want to preface this by saying I was pleasantly surprised how much work they put into this character. This character could become the premier Shadow Wand. Not Wand, Staff. Sorry. Premier Shadow Staff in Curse and Nihility. And let's go over why. So her first skill, restores HP to all allies, removes blindness, continually healing over time, also increases the entire team's strength, grants all teammates a shield, and grants them over damage. So if we go and look at this, she has an HP buff, she has over damage that lasts for 30 seconds with 50% potency, she has a shield of 30% of your maximum HP, and she has a strength buff that lasts for 60 seconds. Now I don't know if that strength buff will get removed by Curse and Nihility. It's possible, but I'm not 100% sure. And I'm also not sure if anything else on here will. I know overdamage won't, but the other 2 I'm not 100% sure. But they are putting overdamage on older healers, which I think is awesome, because overdamage is one of the keys, I believe, one of the true next-gen mechanics that's in the game. And allowing people to have an adventure they might already have get overdamage on a shared skill is super good. Currently, right now, it's Dragon Yuli and Yukata Cassandra, who are the 2 big overdamage shared skills. I use Yukata Cassandra because that's what I have. But I might invest in her since I have so many Shadow Tomes, you know, and I might see that, you know, this is really valuable to me. And in a Sinister Dominion meta where you can't use life shields, this is huge because it kind of ebb and flows and kind of power creeps the current healers in that element, you know, Heinwald, Cleo. There are things that, you know, really want to have more healing than those 2 can provide, and this could really give her the edge. And that's only in her first skill. Go to her second skill, grants all teammates a buff that restores AP relative to the amount of damage they inflict, and also grants the user a strength amp. After the amp is created, the skill will not grant it again for 30 seconds. This skill gauge for the skill will be filled automatically by attacking enemies, but when the skill gauge for Everlasting Summer is not at 100%, this skill gauge will also gradually automatically fill. So basically, when you don't have your first skill up, this skill will heal, or fill rather, faster, and you get to fill by auto-attacking. So now, not only does she give them a more of a, you know, direct damage to healing buff, she also will start stacking amps, and this has an amp of level 2. For a healer, I don't think it will be that hard for her to get to level 2 pretty quickly, because healers are are able to cycle through their skills better, and like a skill like this, having 100% uptime on it is really good because there's no downside to it. It's not a normal healing skill, it's a relative to the amount of damage you're doing. So if you can always have this up, you'll always have your allies healing, which is pretty good. Her recovery potency is the same, and I believe her Chainco ability is the same. Then we have abilities, which is Beach Beauty. Fills up a health gauge at 100% of starter quest, and when HP is full, increases strength by 15% and the potency of recovery skill by 25. Now, most of the time this won't matter, but I believe in a shared skill scenario, it calculates the amount of healing you would do if you're at full HP. I believe so because I remember back in the day, this is going to be a blasphemy pass. Remember back in the day when Galacleos were the primary shared skill, helper skill, people would put a bunch of full HP prints on them. And I believe she works in a similar manner when you're using a shared skill. I don't know, I'll have to check that, but I believe that they do. So I believe this will actually help you if you're using a shared skill and make the heal a bit better. Not that it matters too much because I don't think most people will be using it solely for the heal, but it is something to consider. And it is also something to consider that she will have a strength buff. I'm not sure how valid or, you know, how much that will matter, but it is good to see. And then you have a blindness res, which we already have, and then a recovering potency of plus 50%. So yeah, I think that this Mana Spiral is a step in the right direction. I like when they take on units and really revive them, really bring them back to the meta. She is a unit that's never been super popular due to the fact that Blindness Res was kind of meh, due to the fact that, you know, Grace was out, you know, Cleo was out, Heinma was out. There will always seem to be better options than Summer Verica, at least in my opinion. But now she really, with this Mana Spiral, seems to really shine, and I like that a lot. And hopefully, I'll be able to use her, because I do have her. Let me go find her. I don't know what MC she's at. Oh, I have it set to not water, light. Let's see, where is she? Yeah, she's right here. So, I only have her at 30, but you know, I never was able to use her because I didn't really think it was worth it because I had the other 4 right here, or the other 3 rather. But yeah, I think she's going to be super cool and super good, and I'm really liking the steps that they're taking with this game. So I'm glad that they're making changes to Trials of the Mighty and seemingly changes to the Mana Spirals. Maybe it'll be different when we get the Golem Mana Spirals. Maybe they'll say, okay, we don't need as many changes here as we thought, but still really good to see. But yeah, that's going to be it for me for today. Expect a Should You Summon Tomorrow, a preview of the new banner whenever the gameplay for that comes out, and also a summoning session on Gallimasculo's banner because I do want him and I do feel like I have enough resources to go for him. But that's going to be it for me for today. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.